It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports. And up next, we'll see Jalen Hurts. He had a solid performance a week ago, throwing for 3 touchdowns. It's the Colts and the Browns, just ahead on EA Sports.
First opened in 1999. There's a good look at First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Indianapolis Colts and the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our 2 quarterbacks, certainly 2 of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
To throw at the outset, here's Hurts. He'll get this one to Cooper, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The numbers on the ground for Walker a week ago. 14 carries, 56 yards.
Not a horrendous week last week running the ball, but definitely room for improvement for their numbers. No doubt they made some slight adjustments to how they're going to call plays this week in hopes they can kick those numbers up a notch.
Sticking with Walker on second down. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
On first down, Hurts. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
On 2nd and 10, Hurts. Throw out wide to Walker. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. So here are the Browns under head coach Kevin Stefanski. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2020 from LSU. It's Joe Burrow.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, so we'll see if he can keep his string of good games going right here.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. Here we go. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Here's the Browns strike for 16 on the first down.
Sometimes luck is all you need. That was not even the intended receiver on that play.
Well, Johnny on the spot, though.
Yeah, and it turned into a big play for those guys on offense. They'll take it each and every time.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back. At a perfect 5-0 here to begin the campaign. And they've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really
play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Jeffrey Simmons in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Hurts. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. This defense for the Browns, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
Someone to just 6 points in a game. The feeling that you have among your team is that you're not going to lose very many of those. That's the way to get it done.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. The Colts send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Taken in at the 11. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And we know all about the importance of this ball game. Sure, we're still just in the middle part of the season, but this one you feel could have ramifications down the line.
Right now you're looking at these two teams as being the number 1 and 2 seeds in the NFC, and I know it's a little early to start worrying about seeding and such, but let's face it, if these two meet again, the winner of this game could be the one hosting that game that they play down the road.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Burrow's throw brought in by Watson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
The bull-ready offense versus his own defense. Find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. First down. Here's Burrow. And complete once again to Watson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Great gains back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards, better than 20 here.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago.
Here you go.
Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Here's Burrow. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Christian Watson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. The extra point up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And the Colts coming out now. But partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks. When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Hurts. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
On the jump.
Hurts. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Richardson. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Hurts sets up to throw it. Over the middle, Amari Cooper, it's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down. They needed 3, he doubled that, he got 6.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
We saw that indeed, picking up the first. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another first down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Straight ahead, Walker. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. And keeping a long drive going.
Being chased out left. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Richardson. And the Colts are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Not quite enough to get into the end zone, but what a nice play there. He makes the catch, tries to turn upfield and get to the pylon, but doesn't quite get there. But they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal from very short range.
Walker is going backwards here. Now they come in and drop him all the way back at the 4-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Walker once more. And this time he'll run into a wall right at the 4-yard line. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Here's Hurts to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Amari Cooper from 4 yards out. And the Colts have retaken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's Amari Cooper who finishes it off with a touchdown reception. This one fielded at the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Christian Watson and the rest of this offense back out now. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him.
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else, because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses, to see how they defend it and how he changes up his game in order to try and keep getting open.
A first down carry for Henry, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So, Charles, you look at this offense. What a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, That's when things start to get real for a ball club.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Burrow will throw. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Done.
Back to the ground now. It's Henry down to the 25. Jerome Baker there on the tackle.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs, even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
11.
They'll give Henry another shot. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. 3 tight ends up front here. 3rd and goal.
Burrow looking to pass. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Well, also a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Kenneth Walker headed back out there. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been... You're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
He finds Bateman over the middle. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. From the 45 on second down. Hurts. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Hurts. He's going to float this one deep right side. Touchdown Colts. Rashad Bateman, 55 yards. And the Colts will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 17-10 score. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it's Rashad Bateman who finished it all off with a touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. And Christian Watson and the rest of this offense back out now.
He's done his part, but so far it's been in a losing effort, so they've got to fix something.
But that doesn't mean changing anything, the way they're throwing the ball around and his catches and production. Keep doing that. They're going to have to fix some things likely on defense to try and slow down their opponents.
But so far he's north of 100 yards receiving.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way, work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
He finds Watson. It's gone. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. They go play action with Burrow. And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
Let's go.
And quickly they get to the line. On second down, here's Henry. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the third quarter.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And the Browns offense getting set to go to work here to start the third. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Eyes the crossing route and hits Watson.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 22 yards there, a first down. Now it's Burrow. Over the middle, complete. That's Ballard.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
11 MT tight. 11 MT tight. Stop.
Henry up the middle. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struck.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick six.
I think that's a great observation too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate that those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
Taken at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in.
And he'll be brought down just shy of 40.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Play action. It's Burrow. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ballard.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he's got the first as they'll bring it down at the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Henry's got it, out on the left side.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ballard.
And he is going to have the Browns first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Now he's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. First down.
I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the third quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Burrow. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Browns have got it back to within a score.
The point after is good. And that cuts the lead to 24-17. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. They'll throw on first down with Hurts.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Richardson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Hurts looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on first down. They're taking it to him, and it's paying off.
Eluding the pressure right, and he'll just get rid of it.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
Hurts
over the middle, hauled in by Campbell. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns 19. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
That's a surprising defense there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
A slant route caught by Bateman. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They brought in a heavy set on third down, and it usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the 4th. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Here's Walker.
And he takes it in for a Colts score.
Kenneth Walker, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Colts are looking to run it to 5-1 on the season as they add to their 4th quarter lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now up to 14. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays.
And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland.
And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. He's got another first down, and he's also just a few yards short of 200 for the ball game. incomplete. That's Henry. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw taken in by Hockenson here.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Burrow on play action. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Gregory Rousseau. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack.
He finds his man, complete. That's Ballard.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy cornerback.
And that is a situation where in a defender's mind, you just have to pick a point on the football field and think to yourself, I'm going to sprint full out and meet him at that point. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but he had to play diagnosed perfectly there.
And the next gen stats tell the story as he was traveling at better than 19 miles an hour. Here's Walker to start the drive.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. He'll look to throw.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a third down.
Let's go now.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Hurts sets up to throw it. Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Hurts. Catch made here by Campbell.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 39, Hurts. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
Here's Hurts to throw.
And a throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
Here we go, here we go.
First down, here's Burrow. Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be out right at the 35. The end result, 21 yards.
On one, right? Stop.
Burrow looking to pass.
This is caught. It's Christian Watson.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Another big play as they get 28 out of that one.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Here's Burrow.
And complete once again to Watson.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Touchdown! A great play there. With touchdown number 15 on the year and second of the game. And the Browns have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. The Burrow's going to look to throw for it. And they're going to get the two-point conversion caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, six-point game. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hurts. He finds Bateman over the middle. Finding room at midfield. Loose inside the 30. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Rashad Bateman with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. And now the Colts are going to keep the offense on the field as they'll go for 2 here. Hurts will throw. Taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2. Trying to roll out and make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend the play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
11. Here we go. Get in the huddle.
Now Burrow on 1st down. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Burrow will throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a 1st down. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. And he finds a man with a crossing route.
Here we go.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Play action, it's Burrow. He finds Watson, it's caught. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Touchdown, Browns. Christian Watson. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns have cut it back within a score. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a little dangerous there, almost a penalty, but it does get into the end zone before going over the sideline for a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game. You're in the 4th quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or do you try and bury them with another score? defensively. You use your timeouts as early as opportunity, but wait till you hit the 2-minute warning. So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum the other side is starting to gain.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Throwing is Hurts.
Looking for Campbell downfield.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he did not reel it in.
The Colts send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. The Cleveland offense ready to go. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
Here we go.
Here's Burrow. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Throwing, Burrow.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 32-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
But he picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And he'll throw this one away, but I don't think he was out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag.
We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
Burrow.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the 1st down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
He finds Watson complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. As the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. Inside handoff, Henry. And he stopped immediately there. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
To throw, Burrow. Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with 3rd down coming up.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Now Burrow.
He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told.
And it's capped off by the late touchdown that puts him out in front here in the final minute of the contest.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25.
So the Colts now down on the scoreboard. A little under 30 seconds remaining.
They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Kenneth Walker, his target, out of the backfield.
But it'll be second down. He's back to throw.
Throw out wide to Walker. And he will get out of bounds to stop the clock as he picks up maybe 8, and that's all.
That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for Cleveland, they remain as hot as anyone at 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll have another home date next week as the Cincinnati Bengals come to town. Meanwhile, for the Colts, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8.
Congratulate the whole team, cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no hiding this. Tell them line it up, like a 4th and 1, we sneaky when we slide them. Y'all on offense with no defense, now y'all time is up. We make the hits, y'all take the hits, and now we fired up. 3, 2, 1, don't need no break. Hut 1, hut 2, give it straight, that's how I like it. And we grind it every night to make it hit, now it's exciting. See, they just getting cake, they ain't never gonna get no ice. And all we want is tell the dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it, but it ain't just me, it's the